So I'm Sanna Aho, and I'm the study counselor here at Finest Future. And here with me today is.
Hi everybody, my name is Ming and I am an alumni from Finance Future. I have studied 3 years in Salon Lukio, Salon High School, and now I am in Auto University in Electrical Engineering.
And what we are going to tell you today is how to get to university from Finnish high school. Basically, here you can see the Finnish educational system, and there are two ways to go to university. You can do either high school or then you can do your vocational qualification. And today we are talking about the high school and matriculation examination, which is needed to be able to apply in university or University of Applied Sciences. And in universities, you can do a bachelor's degree, you can continue to master's degree, and all the way up to doctoral degree or licentiate degree if you want to. But let's hear from Min's experience. What were the matriculation examinations like?
It's like a test to me. It's like a test, for the school to decide like who to get in and who doesn't get in. It based on like, are you good enough at certain subject to be able to handle the school curriculum. It's quite challenging, I can tell you. And it's a good way for us to, get ready for what's in the university as well. Um, the test itself lasts from 6 hours for most people, but for finance future student, most of us can get like 8 hours because we have some challenge with the language, and as well if you have some like trouble with ADHD or pretty much most of the trouble with learning, you can also ask the student counselor to see if you got for some more extra time perhaps. But because it's 6 hours, so people bring you can bring food and drinks in there. uh, there is like a funny clip of it's like a mocking video that someone bring like spaghetti, glass of wine, bottle in there. Of course, is there is certain rules what you can bring and you cannot bring. But don't be worried, the teacher can tell you more like specifically like what you can bring, what you cannot bring. They also gonna tell you what you should bring. Like for example, like chocolate or some nuts, easy to eat or not too smelly food. So be in touch with them. Um, and then uh, it's a test. It's long. You should take time to see what you do first and like what you do. You don't read all of them. There are some questions you can like put away, but you'll be ready for them in 3 years in high school. So don't be worried too much.
Yeah. Did you get help from the teachers to choose like which subjects did you want to do?
Yeah, I think the teachers will not say like, yeah, you should take this, you should take that. I think the thing that they will tell you is that, okay, do you find this challenging, or do you like the subject, or like do you find what part of the subject is challenging to you, and to see like if you like the reason why it would be a good match to you, you could absolutely ask a teacher. I have never asked a teacher because I already know, but I can imagine they are very helpful in that way, and also that you can ask them like whether they study in their university or like what kind of uh, experiment they do or what kind of tasks they would do in the real life job. You could ask them. Most people don't ask them, so they would be really interested to see that someone who that interested in the subject. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Did you take all those exams at the same time or did you divide them?
No, no, I divide them, of course, into two part. I take English and chemistry in the fall, so the first time, and for the second time in the spring, I take Finnish, math, and physics. And the way you divide them can be very flexible. You can see like, of course, there's some restriction, like for example, math and I think it was like physics and chemistry on the same day, so you cannot at the same time do two tests. I mean, if you could, I don't think you could, but yeah. So there's some restriction, but it's very clear. There's like a web page for that. You will be know about like really well when the student counselor like helping you out, and then um, there are also like you can choose like some people choose. For example, I could have chose um, physics and English at the same time, so I can use all my energy for the important one, which is physics, and English just like, yeah, it's kind of there. And then there's also in the spring later there's math and Finnish and chemistry, so I can just focus on math and Finnish, which is really important for this study. And I just kind of chill a bit more in chemistry. So it's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. How long did it take for you to get the results? Do you get them immediately?
Yeah, the results. It's a really fun thing, like of course there's like an official result, but like it's always fun. Like right after you do the test, they will publish the right answer, so you can kind of like get a feel of what gonna come, and then after that the teacher of the school gonna grade the exam first. So that's like the first result, or alustava, in some place call them. Um, and then it's like the result from the teacher, but it's not the final result, because in the official one, the sensory, or like the official, from how would you call it, from the latakunta,
Mm.
from the
Yeah, from the board.
from the
That.
board.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or from the board, the one actually gonna have the final result for you. And yeah, you get to, that's the final result, but you can always check them, and you like, you're not cool with it, you can do it again. And if your score change, you don't have to pay any money.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. So here you can see some facts more. So when you get your high school degree, you get two certificates. First of all, you get the general upper secondary education certificate, which means that you have passed all the courses needed to do the high school. And then you get this matriculation examination certificate, which means that you have passed all the 5 exams in your matriculation examination, and this is the certificate that you apply to university with. So you need to take 5 tests. You need to take Finnish, math, and English, and then you can choose 2 from these subjects you can see in the last box. Okay. And then you apply to university. What was the process like?
uh it was very straightforward, like you would know generally. But if around, for example, if I want to, or if you want to, apply for the school in the autumn of a year, then you should apply for the spring of that year. So about 2 weeks before your last batch of exams. So for me, it was 2 weeks in the spring, and then I go to school in the fall of that year. So around spring, or around like after Christmas, and you feel like, they're not gonna tell you when yet, but maybe like for January or February, you're not sure when it happens, you can ask, you should ask. And they went, no, it's not yet. It's always like that for me, at least. But yeah, follow your Wilma system. They have a messaging system between the school and the students. Follow them and always check them. So yeah, that's how you know.
How did you choose your university? Did
Yeah,
you get
right.
any help for that?
Yeah, yeah, sure. You have like, so to choose, it's actually quite a lengthy process, but at least for you, if you need to know, there's like 6 options you can choose from, and the one that you love the most, put on top. And if you could get in, you get in. If you don't, you take the second one. If you could get in that one. So it goes like that. Um, the way that I choose what top and bottom is that, during the school year, there'll be some school trip to visit the university and the actual faculty and what they are studying according to the course that you're taking at the school. So you get a feel like, okay, this do that and that do that. But also, what I did was that I know what I'm good at, and uh, physics, math, and I just realized also math good at chemistry. Um, then I put that onto, there's a few web page to calculate this score, this 5 score. Where do you go after that? Well, you could go after that. So I look it up and I realized, okay, I could doing robotics, automation, computer science, electrical engineering, which I'm right now, chemical process, and like geology, and like it's a whole list. It's just go on and on and on. And I just look at them and I'm like, oh hey, electrical engineering sound cool. But also at the time I was like, oh, automation maybe cooler. So I put automation among the first one and electrical like in the middle. So yeah, that's how I decided. Um, and it's most people wouldn't know. Some people had take like a gap year to get to go work for a while, to travel the world, to see who they are more. Personally, I think the best gap year is that I just go to university and study for, well, if I have to, one more year of bachelor. So that's like, I think that's the best gap year you could ever do. But yeah, and as you can might have guessed that I didn't get into automation. Um, this is because that I had enough like score for them, but the thing is, uh, when I was applying for the student housing, to get the house, I have to be an official student, and at that time, I was third on the wait list, and it's like dropped like I don't know, like day by day, like a lot bunch. So I was like, yeah, it's almost there, but I need a place. So I just what, fine, I'll go here. I live here. It's a great choice because it's an amazing place. I have great friends. Um, but it's also a great choice because it turns out that electrical engineering might be just the one for me. So it's like a bit of destiny. So
Yeah. Yeah. So, how was the application like? Did you get in by grades, or did you need to do some kind of entrance exam, or?
yeah, there's two ways. Well, there's a third one too, but two is the most common way to get in is that you do the national matriculation exam, which I just talked about. You have a NOP score, you have like a really high score, then they just let you in. That's just that simple. And you can also do the entrance exam, which are available in Finnish, Swedish, and also English. And like if you feel like you are really good at math and physics, and you feel like this, like I feel like I deserve a better placement, then you could take the entry exam. For me, I didn't take it at all. I just like, yeah, I know that I could get this into my some like all my top like wishes, so I don't need to take it. So in retrospect, it's, yeah, it's, I wouldn't need to, but if you think like like, there's some courses like, or there's some like degree that is very hard to get in. For example, like biology, medicine, laws, they are super hard to get in. You have like 410 or something like that, very near that. So yeah, it's up to you. You know, don't worry.
Yeah. Thank you. So, here you can see some of the process. So first of all, you can find all the information in Opintopolku webpage. And then there are basically two kinds of applications. The joint application that Min just mentioned. So you can apply up to 6 study programs in one application form. And then, of course, the top one is the one that you are trying to get. And then the separate application, which means that you need to apply one by one, eli only one program at a time, and you always need to check the program how it is required. And the admission criteria, basically, it can be grades, it can be entrance exam, or it can be both. And you always need to check this because it differs from study line to study line. And then here you can see the university degrees once again. So Opintopolku is a good web page to find more information about the university admissions. And there are admission times in the spring and also in the fall. And then now that you have been studying, so what did you expect from your further studies like beforehand? And what is it like now?
Yeah, just before that, actually, the Optopoloku is worth mentioning that you need strong identity like verification, which can be a lengthy process. So do that like a year before even. Uh,
That's a good
It's
one.
like yeah, I'm not gonna tell it here. It's the whole thing. But do that. It's help a lot. Like I have some friends who doesn't have it. You can do the test. You know, like it's fine. They're good. But it's just really like hard to like see what score right now, and it's hard to like change some of the thing that you on the form, for example. And it's just it's not worth it. Just do the strong notification, and also it's also worth mentioning that in order to have a great score for matriculation for a matriculation exam, is great to focus like at the start of your study, like at the very start, because even though there will be like a few months for you to prepare for the test, just preparing the test, it is not a great way to learn at all. Like zero effectiveness if you don't know anything beforehand. So a score during the first few months, it might seem easy to you, but try to like take the harder exercise in the sort of the same course, and or like even look at the mock exam of the final exam of other few previous year, and some of them we have the question that you are studying right now actually. So yeah, do that. That how you get in, and of course don't worry about like you study the whole day, don't have time to do all the stuff. Well, you have the school at 2, so like you have like I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of life just doing what. So yeah, take some time to take care of your study. And my teacher once says that people think that in Finland people don't study, but that is it's just a weird thing. Like my teacher don't know how they get that notion from. In high school, people study a lot, so and there are also like many great mind in Finland. Of course, they're like okay people as well, but like smart people there are a lot, and they are very like motivated as well. So it's also my inspiration for sure. Um, but yeah, also like when you fill the form, you can show your like your student counselor. They can advise you more. Is the form looking good, or like do you actually want to do this? As you know, they can help you out with that too. Yeah, moving on to the um,
Yeah, what about your studies now?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's of course.
Yeah.
So right now I'm studying electrical engineering. So I'm wearing the halari, is the overall, which is like it's like a uniform ish, but like that's the logo um, of my guild. And on them, most people they usually like they seal this on. You have to like seal up and down. It takes some nights, and but they will be like some night you seal with other people, so it's quite fun as well. But some people do it at home, in their free time. This is the logo again. This in the choir, and this actually like quite fun. It's fun as future. It's actually yeah. It's fun as future. My year of graduating.
Great.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a big part of my identity. So I put it there as well. And then there's some fun more stuff. Like some people have like I'll let you explore what is there to offer once you in out or specifically, but I think also in other university as well, with some very fun like quotes and such. But I'll say it for you guys.
Yeah, it seems like you are quite unified group, like your students.
Indeed. Like, in fact, a lot like master student, they coming from Germany, coming from like pretty much everywhere outside of Scandinavia, or even in Vietnam. Like in not in Vietnam, but China, yes, or like pretty much anywhere you can imagine. Uh, they say that because these it take time to put them on, and like the people like who like, for example, if I take a minor in I say in computer science, for example, people in minor in Finnish is called sivuaine, and sivu is like a side, so it's like a side subject. So they just cut a side of their of their overall, and they put a black one on, which is for the people of that subject, and they create the whole thing like in different way. They put with the this is just like a hoodie inside, so it's nothing cool. Oh, this is my solo school by the way, but it's just hoodie inside. It's nothing cool, but some people they sew this onto the halari. They have like some kind of decoration and everything. So they really take the uniform in there, like as a part of the student life.
Yeah. So what about your studies? Have they been hard or have they been like you expected?
I said I had expected it to be hard, but apparently it was harder. Or like I know this gonna happen, but like knowing that gonna happen compared to like being that situation is really different. So um, yeah, like math is you learn new tool to solve bigger problems. So that's very exciting. But it's also it's new tool. It's very new. It's new way to think about math. And then there's physics, just even harder. The thing like in high school you have like there's no this, no friction, no air resistance, and now when there is air resistance, the math is just so much more complicated. It's so fun. It's not fun, but it just it's just like it's really gonna open your eyes. And I also have like the reason why I said earlier that electrical engineering might just be the one for me instead of other subject is because that there is course on circuits analysis, and it's see if like how the circuits work in like well in general, actually not like in specific circuits yet. But what I realized is super hard. Like one small change can change the whole circuits, so it's incredibly hard. And like there's a lot of different components that have like a very uh, complicated like way to calculate, and sometimes you just can't calculate straight out. Like usually you have to do many few steps to change the circuits from one to another. So it's very complicated subject. But what I like about it is that well I was like well like AI can never do this. Like it's just too many steps. And like the reason I know that because well guess who have tried. Guess who- not me actually, but some of my friends have tried to this is kind of hard. Can I do it? They can't yet. And I think not going really anytime soon. But um, it's really complicated. And also like it's hard in the sense that other people have commented that this might be the hardest like program in auto. But I think it's also very inspiring because it's not just like me calculating how much, I don't know how much voltage there are in this certain circuits. It's also more about like how the signal like it's like 5G is telecommunication. Like in Vietnam, it's Viettel, for example, very big, like globally as well. So there are also things to do with IoT, Internet of Things, and there's of course with like semiconductors, anything to do with machine, or pretty much anything to do with electricity. You're gonna find a circuit there. That's the definition of it. So the reason why I quite surprised with electrical engineering is that I didn't know that there's not just only the semiconductors, like so much more around. There's of course like signal and antennas and everything. The more one more thing is like make it like the subject for me is also because in Vietnam right now is there was this embassy in the embassy in Finland. There was a visit from the Minister of Information Communication in from Vietnam, and he talked at length about how Vietnam might be the next semiconductor superpower because we have the resource in the earth in our country, and we also have the labor to make it reality. So I'm looking forward to see how the field gonna change in the next years. So yeah, the coming years. Yep.
Yeah. What about the variety of studies? Like do you have like certain structure at the beginning and then you can choose more freely, or how does it go in
Exactly.
university?
um and in the start it's go like that. You have the choice to change in the very start as well, but it's very highly recommended because you are so new to the system that you take a course of like a standard course that also include most of our students. I think it was great for me because I get to know all the students like so much more, because like it's easy to just go to a big hall and you just pick a random seat, but it was so much more interesting or more fun to speak with sit with your new friend just made in the same field. And they also help you with like the assignment. You can try to do it together. Because of course it's worth mentioning that there's some assignment that say that you can do it with any help, and there's one that's like just for you to do it. But yeah, um, so it's a great way to get to know other people around. But of course, there are many cases. Like for example, I should have tech Swedish, but I just apply for the Kili Papautus, so
Mm,
to free me from having to take Finnish, Swedish. My bad. But in instead of I take Chinese, so there's some modification there, but it's free for you to choose. And in terms of what course, that variety is a whole lot of variety. Like to the point where you wish that with it one course you could have done so much more thing, but you realize that okay, yeah, things are very actually difficult in real life. That one course can do like certain thing only, and there's courses like on so many things. But courses like many, but even just the minor are so much more. Like I could this is by the way compulsory to choose a minor, and I could choose a minor from anything, even from University of Helsinki. That's also an option. But most would just choose like for example computer science, bio IT, business,
mm.
art. That's also like some of the option you can take. And Auto is actually quite famous for the ability to combine many unrelated things to something that very competitive in market. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And here you can see some of the like structure of the higher education studies. Like there is basic, intermediate, and advanced studies in major and minor subjects. And there is also like this length of these degrees. So if you want to do bachelor's degree, it usually takes like 3 years of full study time. And if you continue after that to do the master's degree, it is 2 years more. And here you can see that the bachelor's degree is 180 ACTS credits and master's degree is 120 more. But as you heard, the students can plan their own studies rather independently. But of course, there are these certain compulsory studies and overall structures to follow. But okay, I think we are starting to be quite ready with our presentation and we don't have much time left. Do you want to say something,
Yeah,
in the
uh,
end?
yeah. I think I would say why is it's not just about studying in university and like or even in high school actually. A lot of thing I attend a lot of like you could also T is having talk about life in high school. So but it's worth it to like develop you like as a whole and get to know other things. That's very important to be a part of the society because well life is just easier in so many ways. But of course like develop your skill like other skills like for example it depends on what you want to do in the future. But for me for example I should do more project on like electrical like circuses. But other side it's really fun in your university like although they're so hard but like just having fun is just already have its own like amount of time already. Like you can like join as much as you want. Like there is no limit. And there's in high school there was like what uh two club for me. It's like floorball club and some random like I think chess club. But in university it's like 200 registered club, and these club also registered with the government, so they have more responsibility. There are like some like more hidden club that I know of, but some you might know in the future. So there's a lot of things to do. For me, one is enough. One is enough. It's a choir. We yeah. One is just so much already. Like we go to like camping together. It's a choir by the way. So we sing mostly in concert. But we also like sing in four like a quartet in like dinings. And then we practice like 3 hours today and 2 hours on Monday and in the weekend sometimes. So it takes a lot of time, but it's really fun and like to connect with others, other older like students from different fields, and even some are already graduated and like have their own company and such. So
Yeah.
it's fun. It's really fun.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. It was great to hear your experiences, Min. And good luck with your studies.
Yep. Thank you so
Okay. And
much.
thank you all. Bye bye.
everyone.